In this section, we'll discuss handling and restraint issues associated with cats. You can apply many of the same principles that were discussed with dogs with minor modifications. The primary difference in handling cats is that they often possess claws at the end of each foot. These sharp claws can quickly draw blood if you're not prepared. Let's begin with a brief discussion of cat behavior. The first things to look at are the cat's eyes and ears. If the ears are pulled back, the cat is in a very defensive posture and should be approached with a great deal of caution. If the cat is not looking at you, it's probably not going to react aggressively. However, this does not always hold true, and you must be cautious even if the cat is not always looking at you. Close attention should also be paid to whether or not the eyes are dilated. Dilated pupils are a common sign of a stressed and potentially aggressive cat. The next area of focus is on the body conformation and hair coat. A cat that is scared or upset is likely to be tense and have a hunched-up look. Its hair will often be standing on end, giving them a fuller appearance. This is done in the wild to make cats look larger and more intimidating to their foes. Another indicator of nervous cats is their tail movement. A slow wag at the end of their tail is quite often a sign of apprehension. And finally, the most obvious giveaway of their fears and aggression would be open-mouthed hissing. Your assessment of any or all of these features should merely be signals of how much caution you'll need to exercise. Let's begin with techniques on carrying and picking up good-natured cats. Most cats that are used to being handled are more comfortable if they are picked up with one hand under their chest and the other hand supporting their back end as observed here. It's important, even with sweet, gentle cats, to gain control of their front legs right away after picking them up. This can be done by securing their front legs with your index finger between the cat's legs. Controlling the front legs will significantly reduce the chances of the cat squirming out of your grip. Even when carrying a mellow cat across the room, always control the legs in this manner, because a dog's bark or a startling noise can easily frighten a calm cat. Carrying a cat in this manner will often allow you to support the cat's body with the same arm. This will free up your other hand to open a door or cage. If the cat is to be placed on a table, you will apply similar restraint techniques as you did with the dog. In general, remember that cats do better if less restraint is applied. As a result, most cats can be kept in place by simply stroking their coat or rubbing them under their chin or behind their ears. If a cat appears to be attempting to bite or scratch, a towel is a very helpful tool in minimizing the biting and scratching. The towel should be doubled over once and sometimes twice to provide sufficient thickness to prevent injury. As with the dog, the towel also serves to take away the cat's ability to see and predict your next move. Place the towel over its head and body, and in many cases you can simply pick up the cat with your hands placed on either side of its chest. You can handle almost any cat with nothing more than a good thick towel or blanket. Once you have picked up the cat, you should not attempt to control the front feet as just discussed, but rather continue to keep the cat wrapped snugly in the towel. Many cats, once they have been picked up, can be handled with less restraint, and sometimes the towel can be eliminated altogether. If the cat is going to be placed on the exam table, you can often leave the towel loosely draped over the cat to minimize the fearful activities it may observe. By controlling the head and neck through the towel as seen here, it becomes possible to raise the towel enough to examine the back end of the cat, or slip vaccinations or other injections into the cat. The towel can also be used to form what is called a kitty burrito. Here, the handlers are attempting to prevent scratching while working with the head area. This technique is also useful for administering oral medications. Spread a large towel out on the table and place the cat in the middle of it. Wrap one side, then the other tightly around the cat. You can tuck in the back end and snug up the front end to prevent escapes. This also works well when you're attempting to draw blood from a cat. As with the dog, you can use either the leg or the jugular vein of the cat, depending on how much blood you need. When taking blood from the jugular, The head will need to be grasped and held with the nose pointing up and slightly away from the side of the jugular where the blood is being taken. If you need to restrain a cat for a procedure elsewhere on the body that is likely to be painful, there are several techniques that will often be used to minimize a cat's resistance. The first is used when a minimal response is expected, but the cat must be controlled well enough to not get upset and head for the door. You can generally rub behind the ears firmly enough to stabilize the cat's head and to provide distraction. This works well with most cats when they are receiving an injection. Another technique used involves controlling the head by scruffing the neck. Animals differ from people in that they possess more loose skin that is easy to hold onto. This excess skin can be held snugly on the neck just behind the ears. This form of restraint is not painful to them and often mimics the maternal authority exercised by their mother, as this is where a queen picks up her kittens. In order to properly scruff a cat, it is important to grasp the skin high enough on the neck that the ears are drawn closer together. If you hold too low on the neck, you'll find that an angry cat can twist around and still bite your hand. For many cats, a gentle hold on the scruff will give you plenty of control for minor procedures. When this is not enough and the cat is still resisting and attempting to scratch, you should resort to a stretch hold. This is an excellent technique for immobilizing the cat, but most owners would be concerned that their cats might be in pain in this hold. For this reason, you should never restrain a cat in the stretch hold in front of the owner. With the right hand, you can get a good hold of the scruff, and with the left hand, secure the back legs around the hocks. Again, it helps to hold the legs with your index finger separating them. The cat is laid on its side, facing away from you and stretched. The tighter the stretch, the less they generally fight. This hold is not dangerous to the cat. You must remember that it is far more dangerous for the cat to move during the procedure. The most common oversight made by individuals learning this technique is that they are reluctant to stretch out the cat as much as is often necessary. This restraint technique is commonly used for procedures such as drawing blood, giving a painful intramuscular injection such as ketamine, or examining a painful sore or abscess. Muzzles for cats are available and are preferred by some cat handlers. However, you need to remember that for most cats, scratching is their first line of defense rather than biting. Next, we'll discuss a few helpful pointers on how to get cats out of cages and carriers. Before attempting to remove a cat from its carrier, always be sure to minimize distractions and shut surrounding doors. A frightened cat on the loose can be a challenge to catch when they have the run of the entire building. First, cats are not used to leashes, and getting a leash around a cat's neck can be quite a challenge. If you detect that the cat may be reluctant to letting you pick it up, you can often bypass the leash and start by placing a large towel over the cat's head and body. Many cats can simply be picked up from this position just as you would from the floor. If the cat is aggressively resisting, thick leather gloves may be helpful in preventing a serious bite or scratch from occurring. Even a hissing cat can be picked up with gloves and a towel. Another effective technique is to simply push the cat into the corner of the cage or room with a large blanket, while someone else slips an injection into one of the back legs. In certain cases, a cat may show extremely high levels of aggression and may be unmanageable by other techniques. In these cases, a different technique should be considered. The Easy Nabber is a tool that works well on most unmanageable cats. To capture a cat using this tool, slowly open the cage door just an inch or two. Slide in the Easy Nabber and then spread it out. This provides a safe barrier between you and the cat. Slowly push the Easy Nabber toward the back of the cage, forcing the cat back. Then close the handles. This captures the cat in the soft webbing. Attach the Velcro strap around the handles to hold the cat in place. Once the cat is secured inside the Easy Nabber, it can be easily transported around the hospital. When getting a wild cat out of a travel crate, a modification of this technique is especially helpful. First, remove the fasteners that hold the crate together. Quickly remove the top half and immediately cover the cat with a blanket or towel. The cat can then be either picked up in the towel or pressed down into the bottom of the carrier while a sedative is given. If the cat does not appear to need this severe of an option but is simply reluctant to exit the carrier can be turned on end by allowing gravity to force the cat from the carrier. Most cats will be much more agreeable once they're out of the carrier and on the table.